Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another round of Master Phil in your corner with your host, Master Phil.
Welcome. Master Phil here with Master Phil in your corner with my partner in crime, Dougie Fresh Friedman, here at Undefeated Media Studios in the frozen tundra of Wyckoff, New Jersey.
Very true.
So, yeah, it's pretty chilly out this morning. I got up and went outside. It was like 5 degrees.
Yes.
Yeah. But I hit my son up, and he's in Saco, Maine.
Yeah.
-3.
Wow.
My daughter's a smart one. She's in Florida.
Yeah. Why do we live here?
I have no idea. I have no idea. we're masochists. So I'd like to welcome everyone to the show, and we're going to talk about our sponsors. We got philross.com, one-on-one and virtual training through the Kettlebell Workout Library, over 100 kettlebell and bodyweight-based workouts. We have Survival Strong, defensive tactics, strategies, combinations, and responsive techniques. Just so people know that, Michael Kors has purchased the Survival Strong for all their employees.
Nice.
Yeah, so people, all the Michael Kors employees have full access to the training modules. And also, looks like P3 is taking it on as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're looking at using it for the hospital training. So
very good.
Yeah, looking pretty good. And then, of course, you got American Eagle Live, over 200 training videos with kettlebells, bodyweight, martial arts, defensive tactics, knife and stick work. We also have technique education. For that triple play, it's only $9.99 per month, which will be posted on our newly revamped website.
Will be. Already is.
All right. And then in addition to those items that are available on the philross.com site, we also have the products for training there. So you want to check out the Dragon Door products. There's actually a link there for that. And you can either click the link from this podcast, or you can just go onto the site and go into the products.
We have the site we could show a little bit too.
Yeah, we have ISO, obviously kettlebells, ISO chains. It's all available.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of books there. Matter of fact, one of my books is Dragon Door publication. Yeah, so
yes.
Yeah. And of course, the Body Bell method. The world's only kettlebell bodyweight and dynamic tension certification based on the minimalist approach to strength, health, and fitness. The system is recognized by both ACE and NASM for continuing education credits and is listed on their respective sites. The certifications are available in person or online. And then I'm also featured. I'm a featured instructor on Burn Along. Join me and 2,000 other instructors for only $14.95 a month. Also, something else coming soon. Health is a Wealth. It's an interactive health, fitness, and wellness platform. Read blogs, watch videos, take surveys with medical health and educational professionals, all for free. Like, consumers can join this for free. And actually, all health professionals can join this for free as well. But if you do the paid membership, that elevates your position. So, it's first come, first serve. And if you want to be number one in your zip code, you enter right away. So that should be open within a few weeks.
Nice.
Okay? Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm excited. That's why I was working on this thing all morning. And of course, we do have our Master Phil in Your Corner podcast right here. But if you missed these episodes, just go to masterphilinyourcorner.com and get all the previous episodes, or you can listen to us on Spotify and iTunes and wherever the heck else we are. We're all over the place. And also the Secrets of Kettlebell Training. That is it's ready to go. It's up. Okay. Secrets of Kettlebell Training. Learn the basic 8 kettlebell movements: swing, deadlift, clean, snatch, press, get up, squat, and row. Over 100 movements demonstrated and explained in the hardstyle method of kettlebell training. A one-time fee of only $69 for full access. And you missed out on the special, so hey, it's over.
Should have listened to last episode.
Should have listened to last episode. You would have got the discount, but no more discount now.
Trying to give you guys free money.
Hey, free money. So today we have a special guest, and we're going to delve. The subject we're going to delve into with our guest is plastics. Okay.
Yeah.
Talk about plastics.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things going on with plastics, and we're probably just going to be able to scratch the surface of it.
Oh yeah.
But let me give a little background on my friend here. Okay, certified strength and conditioning specialist, certified personal trainer with NASM, that's National Strength and Conditioning Association. NSCA, National Strength and Conditioning Association. He's an Animal Flow regional leader. He's sick with this stuff, I'm telling you. Stick mobility coach, very, very good with that stuff. He's a trainer through Russian Kettlebell Challenge and Progressive Calisthenics of the PCC. We're both certified in the same organization. He's a TRX black rank coach. He is trained in the art of Jeet Kune Do. He's also a former Division I AA football player, former varsity football track and field coach. He's a belief that less is more with training. He shares that minimalist mindset with me, and actually he's being pulled into my organization. He'll be assisting me on my next Bodybell method certification, which will take place in Rye, New York.
Nice.
On March 27th, I believe it is, or March 29th, whatever that Sunday is. We're doing it there. We had to push it back because people got a little funky with COVID. So he pushes the importance of calisthenics and movement. Our own bodies alone make up the gym that we need to use the most. That being said, I believe that through movement calisthenics, we can find great carryover for other areas of training, kettlebells, track work, etc. My idea of movement calisthenics does not fall short of only using the bar or gymnastic rings. I try to look outside the box while using stairs, hills, walls, hand truck, hardwood floors. My idea might come as unconventional, but my workouts always answer the question and what it will benefit. Movement heals, which is why as we age, it's utmost important we train to play. So I'll tell you, I've seen this guy move. He's also certified in Survival Strong, and the guy moves incredibly. I mean, he does some stuff I'll never be able to do. If I do it, call 911 because my spine or my leg has fallen off. But without further ado, I would like to, it gives me great pleasure to introduce my good friend, my brother, from another mother, George Corso. Come on in, George.
Hey, Phil, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, bud?
How you doing, brother?
All right, good. Hey, George, you know what? We were talking about this, and the subject that we're hitting on is plastics. Okay, and what are they doing to our society? And plastics are everywhere, and it's such a convoluted and actually wrought with hypocrisy notion with plastics, because first of all, people want to reduce you hear people screaming about, oh, no more petroleum based products, blah 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 blah, yet you go to the store, everything is wrapped in plastic. You look at these cars, everything, you look at all the cars, they're like 90% plastic. And then on the other hand, everything's in plastic, everything, right? Then we're saying that, oh gosh, you can't use a plastic straw. And you can't use a plastic bag that people I know use and reuse over and over again. And they use these ridiculous paper straws. They take 2 sips and you got a bunch of mush in your mouth. So let's have a little consistency here, the plastics that are being used right now is over the top. Look at everything.
Yeah. So one reason I believe is because they put a face to the straw. Everyone's seen the video with the turtle and the straw up his nose, and they're pulling out the straw. So everyone can latch onto that, but they don't realize that there's way more plastics and clothes that are in the middle of the ocean that are doing just as bad as stuff.
Right. Yeah, I mean, look, the amount of plastics that are used in our foods is incredible. So even when you think you're eating something that is like a whole food and organic, there's plastics in those. There's plastics in those.
And I don't know if you guys know this. I've heard this, but you drink water from a water bottle, I don't know the stat. It was something like you consume a credit card's worth of plastic a week if you drinking out of plastic cups and water bottles.
Yeah.
And you look at, they sell these metal cups, but it's got a plastic top.
I know, right? Here I got my plastic top. I've got a metal cup, a plastic top.
And a plastic top.
I'm probably sucking in a whole bunch of garbage here. Now, I don't know how many people know this, but there's a lot of there's been a lot of studies done on this, and the problem is the phthalates, okay, and what they're doing. One of the most uh, detrimental effects of this is what's happening to the sperm count. George, what are your feelings on that? You see that these this exposure, the general exposure to endocrine disruptors, including these phthalates, is considered one of the reasons that the diminished sperm count and deteriorated sperm quality. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's been studies done in like Florida by plastics plants, and the male genitalia of the alligators are small and deformed. And it's
Yeah,
it's
that scares
also
me that definitely scares me for the future. I mean, I'm a dad. I got 4 kids, so I'm done. So my sperm
Yeah.
count is not there. But it makes me nervous for my kids. It makes me nervous for my 2 boys. Going into the future with that. I think back in the day when we all got involved in health and fitness, we
Mhm.
thought of food just to get bigger and stronger, right? We never thought
Right.
about the nutritional aspects of it, or what it's going to do for our white blood cell count, our red blood cell count, or our sperm count. It's something that we just never even thought of, and now you're
Yeah.
reading more and more of these things, and it makes me extremely concerned for just any of the next generation, what the population going to be like, what it's going to do to their personalities, or, their depression, all this stuff, because if a man has a low sperm count and he can't have kids, how's that going to affect him mentally and for the rest of the people
Well,
around him?
well, it's also let's go even deeper into that, because if you're a male and your sperm count is low, that means your testosterone level is low,
Yeah,
right?
right. And
So
that's a huge problem.
that's a huge problem. So, because we're wired to operate with the proper hormone levels.
Right.
And if we're not, it's going to throw everything off. It's not just the fact that you can't get someone pregnant. It's the fact
Mm-hmm.
that, you're not developing as a male fully.
Right.
It's going to affect your mood. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to affect your performance,
Yeah.
not just in bed, but everywhere,
Overall, and people
overall. Yep.
they don't think that, we always think that testosterone, big muscles, that's it. But for a
No.
man, testosterone is so pivotal. It affects your mood, your mood, your brain health, your, just how you're going to interact with people, your confidence. If all that is down, that depression hits you, you don't feel like the same person. Every day you wake up, I'm not in that scenario. You wake up, you feel like you're in this out of body experience. How do you function that day? Take care of yourself or people around you. It makes it almost impossible.
Yes. And here's the thing, I'm looking at this, and as I've read more and more about this, these things are almost impossible to avoid. I mean, they're everywhere. I mean, look, okay, I'm doing this. I'm drinking out of a metal cup, but as George aptly pointed out, this has a plastic top on it. Okay.
Right.
But what about the fact that everything that we touch has plastics in it? Okay. Look at your, what used to be metal is now plastic. Piping in a house. How are you going to avoid that? Look at your refrigerator. Look at your water purification. I can speak. Water purification systems, right?
Right.
The water purification systems they're made from plastic. So you're constantly getting this, okay, you're purified. Maybe you don't have, you're not going to get diphtheria, but you know what? You're bombarding yourself with these plastics, with these phthalates. And again, like George says, yeah, I'm set. I got 3 kids. I'm done. It's over. I'm worried about the younger generations. And, I look around and I see, I don't see that a lot of these young boys have the same attitude that we did as younger people.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, look, I know, George, you were a D1 football player, right?
Right.
Okay. I mean, that's hardcore. Okay. I was a D1 wrestler. Okay. Doug, you were a D1 lacrosse player. Okay. You know what? We wanted to be strong. We wanted to be tough. We wanted to, to get out there and get rough and tumble and so forth.
Right.
I see that dropping down. You
Yeah.
know, I see that lowered.
Even
Now, is it just society? What the fact that that they want men to be a little like different, or is it these phthalates, or is it a combination?
Yeah, I mean,
Sure, it's
even mastering the craft, kids aren't going outside and practicing the sport anymore. Like they just show up to practice, leave. Like I would be in the gym before school started. Like I'd be practicing going outside. I don't know.
Yeah.
Go ahead, George. I don't want to cut
I
you
think
off.
that's okay. I think one of it definitely society. You know, that hunger's gone. You know, that strive to be the best that you can be and even better. You know, that
Yeah.
strive is gone. You know, I mean, I see it even in my kids. They do their very best. You know, and what, but sometimes you know that whole saying your best isn't good enough. You know, you want to do better. You know, if you're only doing your best, you know, I always feel like for me personally, if I'm doing my best, I'm still settling. You know, and I'm not driving my kids. I'm not on them like a drill sergeant, you know.
Mhm.
And my dad was he was a former Marine, so he was hard on me with that. But I
You know,
like that
so was my
approach.
dad.
Yeah,
So was
but
my
I
dad.
like that approach. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like a friend of mine who first trained me when I was done with football.
Yeah.
I didn't know who he was. He was a trainer in a gym, and of course I was an arrogant young guy lifting and everything. And he just came over to me. He looks me up and down, goes, "Mm-hmm." I go, "What?" And he goes, "When you're ready to train for real, let me know." So I was like, I can know how to train. I'm a trainer. He goes, "I'll give you 4 exercises." Well, I almost died. It was all body weight training. I didn't know he was a former Marine Corps Special Forces recon. He almost killed me. But he knew my personality that I liked that challenge right away. You know,
Yes.
if I said that to my son, my oldest son, he'd be devastated. You know, what would you say that for? Why would you do this? So, and I'm sure a lot of it has to do with the chemicals. A lot of that has to do how just what they're used to being around anymore. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but there's no challenge anymore. You know, so we lose that aspect. So maybe at that aspect that challenge is gone, or that extracurricular activity to move forward is gone, your testosterone levels will drop. You know, plus with the food and everything else, it will drop.
Yes, that's the thing. That's the thing. Also, your testosterone level through the activity that you do, it boosts it.
Right.
If you're training hard, you're doing explosive power workouts. You know, that's going to boost your testosterone.
Right.
I'm thinking that this may. I have zero medical experience in this, but
Yeah, same.
If you're improving your testosterone, if you're making that level go up higher, I'm thinking that it would be beneficial to your sperm count.
Absolutely, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, if there's someone that is online that's seeing this, you know, please let me know because I would like to know if there's been any studies or correlation on that. I really this just like hit me right now as we're sitting here discussing. Is that, you know, if we're sitting there doing testosterone boosting activities, will it help counterbalance this? Look, I'm all about finding solutions to problems, not just pointing out problems. Look, we got a problem with these plastics. I mean, plastics are everywhere. How do we avoid? I mean, like, look, you know, if you have a plastic water bottle, and you leave it in your car and it gets hot, that's a no. All that
chemical
stuff
goes right into the water. Yeah. You know, there's a reason why that bottle gets soft, right? It's melting. It's literally melting into the water.
Yeah.
And
it's shutting.
We don't think about that stuff.
No, we don't. And that's a problem. And, you know, we have to become aware of this. And, you know, and then we have to come up with some real solutions. You know, what are some of our, you know, potential solutions to this? What can we do? You know?
Right. You know, we as a family.
That phone that's ringing is made of plastic too, right?
Right. Exactly. Now, as a family, we try our best to, as times went on, you know, my wife and I, we have a great marriage, and what I love about her, nutrition's huge on her. And little by little, we've been trying to go more environmentally friendly with stuff. You know, we're not 100% living off the land or anything. Like a great example is my father-in-law. You know, he's amazing, and my mother-in-law. They're incredible with that stuff. They grow all their own vegetables and they store it all year long. She has a massive garden. It's huge. But not only that, he has like 15 acres. He only eats venison. He hunts for like 5 or 6 deer, and he feeds himself and us throughout the entire year. You know, it's pretty cool that he guts it, he hunts
like
it, he
Ted
guts
Nugent.
it, he does everything. Yeah, he really is. And he lives. He built his own cabin. You know, he's got his own cabin he lives in.
Yeah.
He's a master carpenter, so he built everything on his property by himself. So, but still, even after that, we go over to eat, and we know there's no chemicals in this. There's no chemicals in the vegetables, but yet you sit down and you have like the knife handle might have some plastic on it, or these are things that you don't think about. You know, so it's very hard to get away from, but we try our best to get away from it. You
Look,
know,
if you can reduce the amount, I'm sure it's extremely helpful. I didn't know that Amy's dad was Ted Nugent.
pretty much, pretty much.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. He's
Yeah.
out there, procuring the natural meat.
Yeah,
But
pretty
it's so
much.
funny because I don't even know if you see the deer in our area. I mean, they're pretty hefty. They eat everything too. I
Yeah.
mean, they're
Things are pretty big over
huge.
here.
Yeah.
Same here, massive.
It's so funny. People, talk against hunting and so forth. There's more deer here now in the United States than there was in the 1800s.
Really,
Yep.
that's incredible.
Yep.
Look in free buffets. Everyone's putting bushes and nice plants on their yard to get free
Exactly.
buffets.
And they don't have to struggle for
Yeah.
it. And the other thing is, guess what? We killed all the wolves.
True.
So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
Not me. My family wasn't here then. So
Right? Yeah,
We're
never
not-
mind.
I'm sure George is the same.
We're not from here.
we had nothing to do with that. So,
No.
but now, the thing is that with the if you look at the sperm count in the Western civilization, the Western world has dropped, and especially if we're looking at it for U.S. men. I mean, there are tons of studies, and I really want people to go in and look at that. I mean, you can check out endocrine disruption, epidemiology, phthalates, reproduction, semen quality, so forth. These things are affecting us. Now, my question is this: what about women drinking this and passing it on to their children too?
Right. Yeah. I'm sure there's a study on that either is not printed or someone knows about it, but it's just
Yeah.
not public. But it's just something to definitely think about. We do order. It's cool. We do order our food from this organic company, and they send all this organic food in. But some of the cool things are, but I don't know the 100% the chemicals about it. Everything they send in, one is recyclable, but still it's plastic, right?
Right.
But one thing I found that was very cool, the cold pouches that they put them in, because food comes in cold, it's all plant food. So it's not
No.
so it's in plastic, but the inside of it, it's all plant food.
Well,
So you just take it and save it for the spring.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Cellophane is made from trees, cellulose. So, I mean, maybe you should have a good, more of a push to use those type of products as opposed to plastic wrap. Use cellophane. That's
Paper and cardboard.
yeah, paper, cardboard. But then the people will say, "Oh, we're killing the trees too much."
Not if we
Yeah,
plant
no,
them.
we grow them. Yeah, some people just.
And you also read some of these stories. Once in a blue moon, you'll come across a story, whether it be a Facebook or Instagram, and it's a quick story of some brilliant person in overseas, sometimes even a third world country, and they found out ways to make either whether it's bricks out of garbage or some other form of plastic that's more environmentally friendly that doesn't have the chemicals in it, but you never see it you never see it again. It's almost like it's squashed. And you're like, oh, I saw the story about this person who made this plastic out of like plant food or plants and everything else, and it looks amazing, and then it's almost like it's gone. You never see it again.
Yeah, these stories are just very, very prevalent. I remember back in the 80s, there was this Australian engineer who developed an engine that was used water.
Yep.
You remember that? Right?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember hearing about this. Yes.
Yeah. And he got paid by the oil companies to sell the rights to it because they squashed it. I mean, these are the things that are just not right.
Yeah.
Now, what about the standards in Europe? Aren't the standards fairly high in Europe as far as the amount of plastics they're allowed to use?
Well, they're having the same problems we're having here.
Okay.
They're having the same problems. I mean, this is definitely of the Western world. The more plastics, basically, the lower the sperm count. From all the reading I've been able to do on it, I've been looking at this. I got introduced to this a little bit more than a year ago, and it's really funny, because I hearken back to my grandfather, who had a great influence on me. And in one of my books, Ferocious Fitness, you'll see I have a chapter, Cosmos Credo. Okay, now this guy was an immigrant from Italy, Italian immigrant, came here, and he hated plastics. and he hated soda. Now now this is a guy who was born in 1902. Okay? He lived till he was 94. But he did not like plastics or soda. Now look at that. This guy had like 8th grade education at best. Okay? And yet he figured out that this stuff was detrimental to the society, detrimental to our environment. Okay. I mean, look at what sodas. Sodas are horrendous for you.
Mm-hmm.
They're filled with sugar and empty calories that do nothing for you. Look at the plastics. They don't break down. You don't break the plastics down. I mean, look,
Right.
I don't think we're ever going to get away from plastics, but
No.
just as far as, we're not getting away from it. But what we have to do is find a different method of employing them. And the other thing is that when we get rid of them, okay, I don't know if you guys have seen, but they're building whole homes out of recycled plastic. They're very inexpensive. Yeah. And they're completely, they're very inexpensive, and they're incredibly strong. You look at sometimes you make a deck now, you use the Trex as opposed to wood. But my question is what is leaking? What's the outgassing on these plastic homes? Is that
Right.
detrimental? I don't know this yet, but they're doing a lot of things with recycled plastics, and I hope we can keep going in that direction. But I don't know if any of them are addressing the phthalates situation, and
Right.
we're going to be able to get this, moving forward onto, to help us in society and cure us of this situation. Because it's, I mean, if the sperm count keeps going down, guess what? Nobody's going to be able to reproduce. Okay.
Right. We're not going to be around very much long.
Right.
I don't want to get us off plastics, but just going along with this, they did a study with rats, and they gave the first generation rats foods with GMOs.
Right.
And long story short, by the 3rd generation of rats, they were no longer able to reproduce.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we don't know. We don't think
Wow.
long term what's going to happen. We just,
Right.
Yeah. Let me read this little passage to you guys. Okay. Animal studies have shown that exposure to certain phthalates during fetal sexual differentiation reduces fetal testosterone. So Welsh et al., 2008. As a result, male pups exhibit a cluster of altered androgen-dependent anatomical features that reflect disordered sex differentiation, including reduced, that is, less masculine androgenital distance, impaired testicular descent, and reduced testicular size. This cluster alteration has been referred to as the phthalate syndrome, which in male rodents has shown to have adverse consequences for later sexual development. That's Foster, 2006. In humans, an association between prenatal exposure to certain phthalates and similar cluster reproductive development outcomes, most notably a shorter AGD, has been reported in male infants. Swan et al., 2005, Swan, 2008, and also in 2015. Most observational studies show limited or weak evidence of a relationship between impaired semen quality in adulthood, phthalate exposures, including dibenzoyl phthalates, that's the DBPs, benzoyl phthalates, BZP, and a whole bunch of other ones. Okay. So, guys, the evidence is there. Now, what is being done to battle this? What is being done to protect our society? How are we going to go and combat this? George, you got any thoughts other than just going? We're trying to be as natural as possible and reduction. I mean, should we be involved in a movement here?
I mean, yeah, I think it's gonna take people as a whole. I mean, it's right now it's very hard to live right now without being around the plastics.
Right.
You could do it as an individual sale. Say, okay, I'm going to buy this metal cup. I'm going to buy this, but then it's still everywhere else. As how the plastics are being made, or just in general, like, is there again? I don't have an expertise on this, but the question is there a better, healthy way to make the plastics without these certain chemicals in it?
Right.
Is there a more
That's
natural
what
route that
I'm
we
driving
could take?
at. Right.
You
Right.
know,
Is there a better
and
route?
not to the point where the consumer has to pay more. Maybe the corporation takes a little bit less, but so that we don't want our plastics prices to go up all of a sudden because they have to make them more natural. You know what I mean? Because as it is that everything's so expensive. But is there a better way that they're doing it for their? This is like a train of thought that's probably more fantasy like, but can they do something like that for the greater good of everybody?
Well,
Where
here's
everyone's
something.
benefiting from it.
Yeah. Well, here's something, because I'm a capitalist and I believe in a capitalist society. So here's a challenge to the plastics companies. I will bet the one that comes up with a better, cleaner, safer plastic,
Mhm.
they will corner the market. So
Oh,
that would be a
absolutely.
great incentive. So, if people look, years ago, the food products that we were getting, like, Wonder builds bodies in 12 ways and whatever. It was a bunch of garbage. It was all, debunked. And so then
Mhm.
people started coming out with higher quality food products, right?
Right.
And then those people basically took over the market. I mean, I'm older than both of you guys, but everybody had Wonder Bread. Okay,
Yeah.
the Wonder Bread has not made it into my house in decades. Okay, because I'm onto the other products. So if someone in the plastics industry wants to take the bull by the horns here and develop a plastic that does not have these phthalates in it, that does not destroy sperm count or do other harmful things. And look, I know it's mostly on males here. I don't know, what does it do to women's ovaries? What does it do to their reproductive organs? I mean, it's
Mhm.
probably most easily identifiable with males, but what's it doing to women? Is there a link to breast cancer?
Right. All these things that are so devastating to people. When are we gonna? Everyone, and again, fantasy thought. Everyone starts looking out for everybody on this situation.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's gotta be a movement. It's gotta be something like that. That the people in general, not just we people in the United States, but people overall, the whole world. When are they gonna?
Yes.
When is everyone going to look out for everyone else, saying, "Okay, look, we're doing all this. It's killing you guys. Let's forget about the profits so much. Let's worry about living better." Living better, more quality better. You're gonna, maybe people will just be a little bit happier at some point.
Yeah. Well, also you look at the Body Bell Method slogan: "Live better, longer." Okay.
Right. Exactly.
So, George. Now, hopefully, there's someone listening out here, and we can start as a society really paying attention to this and doing something positive about it. And I'd really would love to see a plastics manufacturer come up with a product that does not adversely affect us. That being said, talking about products, you have a product on the horizon, don't you?
I do. I can't talk about it just yet, but I do.
Okay.
I'm very excited about it. I have five in mind.
And
To
are they
again
made
to
of
help us.
plastic? Are they made of plastic or metal?
Um, three of them are made of metal. Yeah. The other two, now they have me thinking about it, I'm like, oh man.
Damn. What do I do here?
Yeah.
I'm contributing to
Yeah,
this.
great. Now what do I do? Okay.
I'm eating venison.
But yeah, I'm very excited
and
about
garden
it.
vegetables.
Yeah.
When do you think you'll
But
be able
yeah,
to make
once
the
I
announcement?
have, I could, still waiting on the, because the patents take forever, but I could, once I get my patent pending, which will be hopefully in a few weeks, then I could make the announcement, but just waiting on the patent pending first. Cause I didn't realize that when you go for patent, it takes like 2 years. I'm like, you serious?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, once I get my patent pending down, then we'll go from there.
Yeah, it's just like I'm trademarking.
And then I can make the announcement.
Yeah, because like I'm trademarking the Body Bell Method, right? I mean,
yeah,
it's not cheap and it takes a long time to trademark. I mean, I have the trademark, but
right.
it's going to be registered. When it's registered, I can change the thing, but it is a trademark's pending.
Yeah, when I saw how many zeros come up, I saw the price on some of the stuff. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Really? Is this a bill or a phone number?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, all right, so I guess I should get an investor now.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Hey,
What do you need the money for? A patent.
Right. Exactly.
I
Exactly.
can't
Yeah,
tell
I'm
you
sure
what
about
it is.
Shark Tank. So I need a
Can't tell you, but
patent
I have to
first.
show you. Hey, George, tell us a little bit about. I know you made some changes during COVID at your facility. So what'd you do there?
So it's funny. So right when COVID hit, before the first lockdown, we had a beautiful 7,000 square foot facility. We
Yep.
loved it. It was great over there. And I was talking to my wife, and she's like, I have a funny feeling they're going to shut us down. And I was like, great. So what are we going to do? So she came up with the idea of doing virtual classes before it was actually a huge thing, through a private Facebook group where we could do a virtual membership where we wouldn't see the people working out, but they would see us. So we threw that out there right away. So when we shut down, our members could still work out.
I did the same thing.
We did that and it worked out very well. But some people started quitting and everything else. So we had to downsize. We knew we were going to have to close the doors because our landlord didn't really want to work too much with us, and it just got all complicated. So what we did was we just looked for another space. So we just downsized and went smaller, but kept the same quality of training up. And we're still very busy here. But believe it or not, we're still very much busy, still virtual. I'm very busy. Most of my business now for me, I'm doing probably 90% of my clients virtually. But the cool thing about it is I'm now actually a corporate trainer. A corporation hired me, a big corporation hired me.
Nice.
And they probably give me like maybe 30 sessions a week,
Wow.
But that's not including what I'm doing my clients here.
Right.
I train, I'm not burnt out yet.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty good, but I do. But I definitely train 7 days a week right now. And I'm probably average about 8 or 9 sessions a day. At the most, I do 14.
Oh, God bless you, man.
But
Good for you.
the great. I
worker.
actually like the virtual. The virtual actually made me a better coach because I had to articulate better. I had to cue better. You can sit there and watch somebody, move their body a little bit, and then you'd watch them. You kind of look around a little bit. You'd watch them where now your focal point has to be on them. The only thing I figured out is I cannot be home when I train. I was doing a virtual call because I also trained for a hospital company called Nuvance, and I train their residents. So we do a Zoom call twice a week for a couple hundred doctors. And as I'm sitting there doing my Zoom call and I'm doing some animal flow movements, my 4-year-old son comes over and starts jumping on my neck, gets me in a headlock, and I'm trying to talk, and he's like flinging all over me, So yeah, so I just can't do that anymore.
Yeah. That's cool though. That's cool. I'm lucky. My daughter's older now and she tries to avoid me as much as possible. So I can do my workouts out of my home gym, whether it's virtual or one-on-ones. That's great. That's great, man. It sounds like you really look, and that's the cool thing that people don't realize that whenever you have an issue, it's how you address it. So now you've actually lowered your cost and increased your revenue. Okay, therefore you're more profitable with this new model. Whereas this is what I'm putting out there for the people in the plastics industry. Okay, hey, we got a challenge here. Fix this problem. Be the hero, and you're going to reap the benefits. Because whoever comes up with this non-toxic plastic is going to corner the market.
Right. They got to be more like my dad's like I said, he was a U.S. Marine. They need to take their motto: improvise, adapt, overcome.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
That's how my dad raised me. That's all he ever said to me.
Me too. My dad was a Marine as well. So, I grew up with that mindset, and they weren't. I don't know about your dad. My dad was pretty quick on the discipline aspect. So. Yeah.
No, my mother was before him. My mother's Puerto Rican, so she was quick. She did all the discipline. My dad just had to look at me, and I was like, "We're good."
Did you ever get the shoe or the wooden spoon? I got a lot of those.
Oh, so you got to understand, because I'm Italian Puerto Rican, so Italian is only the spoon, maybe the belt. My mother, anything she could find. Spoon.
I don't know when
she was great with that slipper. She would throw that thing across the room, and I swear it could be an exaggeration, but I doubt it would hit me in the head and it would come back to her. Almost like Captain
like a
America's shield.
boomerang, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I guess my mom must be part Puerto Rican or something because she would hit me with anything, shoes. Like she could throw shoes around the corner and hit you. It's amazing.
And then she'd hit me, and then when she was done hitting me, because she would not just hit once, she would hit and talk like, "How many times did I tell you?" And then she was done, she'd cry. Yeah. And in my mind, I'm going, "Shut up, shut up." And then she'd go, "Why do you make me hit you?" I'm like, "I didn't make you do anything." Yeah. To this day, she denies it all. She cries. She's like, "You know, I love you." I said, "Ma, I know you love me, but you hit me." She's like, "No, I didn't." I'm like, "Am I making this up?"
Yeah. It was... Hey, Daisy, how you doing? Okay, excellent. So, so here's the thought of the day. The challenge that we're going to put out there is for the plastics companies to come up with products that do not destroy sperm count. See who's going to be able to do it.
It doesn't even to be just a plastics company. A water company could come out with a new technology, put the water instead of water bottles, it's in a water bubble. Who knows?
Yeah, it's got to be
something.
I know we're an innovative country. Start doing it. You know,
Yeah, not where you're trying to turn too much of a profit. Maybe take a profit loss to some extent. I mean, your board of directors might like that, but a profit loss for the better of the people.
Yeah. So hopefully this can happen. George, thank you for being a guest on our show. And
appreciate it.
Audience, we'll see you soon. This is Master Phil in your corner. Strength and honor.